Hey y'all, guess what? That's my best friend Janelle.
Hey, and that's my best friend Chanel.
What's up, y'all?
Today we're doing a video. I think it's super important. People go through their lives and they realize things about themselves later on in life, and you work on yourself and you change yourself. Today we're doing 8 things that we've learned in relationships. Things that we've maybe done in relationships in the past, and we realize, like, hey, we should definitely change this about ourselves.
Yeah.
Or things that we realized, that we were doing that maybe we could tone down a little bit or do better on, or, that kind of thing. So I'm going to start it off. My number one, and I think probably the most important thing that I've learned during relationships is how your parents affect your relationships later on in life, and how to realize it and how to reverse it.
Yes.
Can you expand on that? I think that a lot of people take things from either their parents' relationship, watching, seeing how they are, or even just the way that your parents teach you certain things or teach you how to be. And you don't realize until later on how that affects your relationships with other people of the opposite sex, or just generally how it affects you. Because I say this all the time, your parents can only teach you what they know.
Yes.
Your parents aren't the be all and end all. They're not, the most intelligent, most, knowledgeable, most learned, most
the only one
rounded people on this planet. They can only teach you where they're coming from.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that your parents teach you are not the right things. And it took me a while to realize that. I went through, relationships thinking like I had it down packed. I know, like I'm good. And then I realized later on in life that I was doing a lot of messed up things that mainly I learned from my parents' relationship or my father. I love my father, but he has a lot of messed up ways, and he, thinks about things differently, and it works for him. But I realized later down the line that it's not a great way for me to have a relationship. I was doing things, and I was very, just like him, it's my way or the highway. If you don't like it, you can keep it moving, keep it trucking. I don't care. You're going to do it the way that I want you to do it. I know what I like, and it's going to be this way. And it took me a while. It really took me a lot of years for me to finally be like, okay, there's something wrong with this. There's something off with this,
and it's very big. It's a very, very big thing. I want to commend you on that for acknowledging it and making an amends and changing it.
Yeah. It was tough because my parents. Your parents are, your first loves. Like, you naturally think that they're teaching you the right way to do things. And like I said, they might think that they are, but sometimes it's just not. And, for me, I went through relationships where it was just like, hey, you're going to do it the way that I want you to do it, until I realized, like, as I got older, this isn't the way to keep people around. Like, all relationships are going to require compromise. All relationships are going to require, you listening to the other person's perspective, because it's 2 of you in a relationship. It's not just one.
Mm-hmm.
So this was definitely a big thing for me, and my major, thing that I had to change within myself. And, obviously, like, since I've, learned that, I've definitely tried to fix it. And I've, let me not say successful, because they've ended regardless, but they ended because of different reasons. I've been successful in changing that aspect while I was in other relationships. And so, I'm super proud of myself. But guys, you really have to realize how your parents are affecting your relationships now.
Definitely.
The things that, you learned from them that you may not want to continue. You need to do some self-reflection. You need to, figure yourself out and look at yourself and, figure out if this is an okay way to be or it's not. Because, like I said, they're going to teach you where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes a lot of people wait for New Year's to do a, self-reflection and to say, you know what, or introspection and saying, this is what was bad and this is good. And it's good, but you shouldn't do it on a yearly basis. You need to be doing it on a daily basis.
Yeah. I mean, make those changes, look at yourself and, figure things out. And it doesn't even come from just, relationship things that, your parents teach you. It's also personality things.
Yeah.
It's also, things that I can say growing up with, my parents, and I looked at things like I would always be like, I never want a relationship like my parents. I never ever want a man to try to tell me what to do, to try to control me in any way. And throughout the years, I definitely did not have any, man that was in my life telling me what to do, but I went overboard. So, I'm here going, well, that's not me. I don't take, that kind of stuff. But instead of just knowing, like, you can also listen to people's perspectives without it being they're telling you what to do. So that was definitely something, in my personality where it's just like, okay, I picked up on your relationship. That's not going to be my life. That'll never be me. And I just took it too far. And it was just like, okay, I had to bring that in, Mm-hmm. Again, relationships are about two people. So guys, definitely look at that. Try and make those changes because, later on in life, you're going to find it difficult and you're going to I was right. Introspect.
Yeah.
You're going to do some introspection. You're going to look at yourself and, look back at your relationships and realize like, damn, probably shouldn't have been doing that. So do it early. Do it early and, fix yourself. There's always room.
Listen, growth. That's the biggest thing. Growth. Now, number 2 is not listening to others and being true to yourself. Now, this one here is something that I definitely had to kind of wean out. It is very, very wise to have wise counsel around you in your group and to hear what they're saying and then to sit back and have a moment with yourself. Because sometimes from, when we were younger, you would hear something what someone said and you just jump and you do it. And that's not the way to do it. You need to go back and have that self-reflection and say, okay, this person said this person said that, and I hear it, and then go back into that relationship and then say, you know what, this is what I'm hearing, this is what I'm feeling, I would like for you to make a change or do better. And then literally do that with your significant other. And not only in just a relationship aspect, but even in different relationships, friendships, co-workers, it's always good, very, 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 very good to have wise counsel around you. But at the end of the day, you need to be true to yourself. Always be true to yourself.
Yeah, you definitely, you also want to be around people who want to see relationships succeed. A lot of people have friends that, they want to have your back. They mean well, but at the end of the day, they're always going to want you to be out with them, partying, doing out. I don't know how many of y'all saw Bow Wow, publicly proclaim on Instagram after Omarion and April Jones broke up, like, yeah, my boy, we going to be doing it in the club. We going to be, doing it with all these girls. Those are the kind of friends that you got to watch out for. They want to be your friend, but they want you out with them doing single people things. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to your relationships, they're going to be giving you single people advice, not relationship worthy advice.
May I interject right there? There is a Jamaican proverb that says, misery love company. All right, be very aware of that one.
Yeah, and the problem is you're always going to be looking at your friends, especially your close friends, especially your best friends, and being like, they have my back, they're not going to steer me wrong. Exactly. But, sometimes people say things and do things, and it's like they're underlying what they're feeling comes out. And like I said, they don't mean you any harm, but it just happens sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes you just say things and you're just leaning towards a certain way, and, it's your subconscious. You don't even realize it.
Yeah.
So you definitely have to, take people's opinion with a grain of salt. You have to realize, like, is this good for my relationship? Or, is this something that maybe I can hear it, but not listen to it.
Very true.
Yeah. Number 3 on our list of things that we've learned in our relationships. My own is dealing with your own personal traumas and learning why you react to things the way that you do. Everybody's been through crap in their life.
Yeah.
From you were young to now, and it shapes and affects everyone differently.
Mm-hmm.
You will take things that happen to you in your youth and take them into your adulthood and not even realize it. And so sometimes I learned this, after introspection, after certain relationships, I'd look back and be like, why the hell did I do that? Why did I really react to this so strongly? Why did, and certain things that might have, caused an argument or caused a fight or, made the other person feel bad. And I didn't even realize at the time why I was acting the way I was acting, why I was saying the things that I was saying, why I was doing the things that I was doing. So it took, a few relationships for me to kind of figure out later on, like, hey, I think I'm reacting to this because of things that happened to me when I was younger. This happened to me in my childhood, and this is why I'm reacting to this way. And you need to, try and control it and try and fix it. Deal with your personal stuff. Because taking your personal stuff into a relationship is never going to be healthy for you or for it. And, the person that you're with, the person that you're with is not there to fix you. You need to work on yourself, and you need to fix yourself and figure, things out. And if you take those personal traumas into your relationships, they're never going to work. They really aren't. You have to deal with them and then bring somebody else in. And of course, dealing with them doesn't mean that they went away. Dealing with them doesn't mean that, they no longer exist. It means that you share with, your person, you share with your significant other, hey, this happened to me and I do or I have had issues with it and I acknowledge this and I'm working on it. And you can stop yourself too, because, if you realize that, you're getting triggered by something or, you're reacting to something in a strong way, but you realize like, damn, this is why I'm reacting to this so strongly. Let me pull back and speak about it instead of getting angry about it or instead of, reacting in a negative way. So that was definitely something that I had to learn because, that has happened to me multiple times. And I had to be like, okay, I need to approach this differently. I mean, I'm big on, self-reflection. I'm big on trying to fix my mistakes. I don't like making mistakes. I'm not a perfectionist, but I really don't like making mistakes. I don't like being wrong, which is horrible because everybody's wrong at some point, but I just don't like that feeling. So when I realize that something is wrong with something that I'm doing, I definitely get up on it quick. And I'm like, I need to stop that. I need to, figure out a way to curb that behavior. So yeah, that's my... What is this? Number 3 on the list.
And now number 4 is one that I definitely had to change. It's tit for tat.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a Leo, and that is something that I struggled with in the beginning of my relationship and then into my marriage. I think mostly in my marriage is where I saw it the most. This disgusting behavior. So my husband would do something that would anger me, and I would hold it and then go do. And it doesn't have to. I would not necessarily be doing let's say he would play a game, and I didn't like it. I had asked him for something, so then I would play a game. And then he was like, oh, babe, can you go make dinner? No, I'm not going to make dinner because X, Y, Z. And then when you did it,
and
so,
I was asking you, so I'm doing it now.
Exactly. And
that's Leo's.
That was old me. And I definitely had to fix it because it's just disgusting. Like, who likes to go tit for tat and then just say, well, because you did it, I'm going to do it. Like, no. And then I would do...
Or because you don't do it, I'm not doing it.
Exactly. And it was something that I had to outgrow and to understand about myself, and then to say, and then I'm not perfect by any means. I am not perfect. And I do see that there will be moments where my husband will do something and it'll kind of anchor me, and then I'm immediately like, I'm gonna go do this. And then when I realize it, I check myself and I say, you know what, don't do that. Take the
Or I try to check her. I'm like, I don't want no parts of this.
Yeah, she will. She would. And I say, you know what, no. You know what? And I'll turn cheek. And I say, you know what, no problem. Go ahead and do whatever you're doing. And I'm going to take the higher route. And that was just it. That was one major thing that in my relationship that I had to change about myself, because it's not. It's and then when somebody will sit here and point it out to you, it's kind of like, don't let me slap you. But she was right. You know, she was very right. And
because that's not how relationships should go. You're not. I mean, you don't even
keeping
want
score, like literally
like that. I do
score.
not want a friend that keeps score and says, "Well, I did this last time, so you need to do it this time." Like nobody wants to be around somebody like that, and you know that's not an okay way to be in a relationship, because when you're in a relationship, it's the two of you. Like you expect this person to have your back, and you have this person's back, and sometimes you know it's not going to happen the way that you want it to happen.
Yeah. And so, like, say for instance, also in the beginning of our marriage, he would tell me. He'd ask me, hey, babe, can you get me some water? No problem. Go get the water for him. Then I'll be like, well, babe, can you get me some water? And he'll be like, no problem, you know? And then he'd come back and I'm like, well, can you go get me this? And he'll be like, okay. Then he'd come back and can you get me this? And I was just like, why do you keep doing this? You know, it was just getting so ridiculous. And then it was just like, it got to the point where I was like, you know what, honey? I will go ahead and do this for you. I will, and not only that, but you have to do it with a joy, you know? So.
It sounds so familiar.
You have to do it with a joy for the other person. And through that, I have now learned to, you know, I'm loving my husband in a whole nother way. And it's not necessarily keeping score and tit for tat, and you did it for me, so I'm going to do it, or you didn't do it for me, so I'm not going to do this for you. And so we've grown in that aspect. So that was my number 4. No tit for tats.
Number 5 on the list of things that we've learned in relationships. This one's pretty important to me as well, because this is definitely something that I struggled with, is getting upset and giving people the silent treatment. Oh man, I've come a long way.
Yes, you have.
This was definitely something that was so, not just wrong, but so immature. And this was actually another thing that I was learned behavior from my parents. I think my mom deals with stuff like that. When things come at her, she just clams up and she just does not want to deal with it whatsoever. Like, leave me alone, like, you know? And so I kind of just did that in relationships, and I'd get upset and, you know, I'd just be like, do not speak to me. I am not speaking. And I would go like that for hours on end. I would go like that for days on end. And I just didn't want to be bothered. Like, I just don't want to talk to you. And obviously that's no way to be in a relationship. Absolutely none. Like, that you spend most of your relationship, you know, not speaking, and that just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I'm definitely happy to say that my last relationship, I was so much better at that. I was actually, I think it's actually like the tables turned a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was the one that was just like, okay, let's talk about things. Okay, you mad?
He would clam up.
Yeah, he tried to anyway. And I was kind of just like, okay, like, we just need to get over this. Like, come on now, let's talk about it. Like, okay, you mad? Sit down. Like, what's going on? What's the problem? And yeah, you know, it just works so much better. You spend more time on your relationship than you do, you know, being upset.
Yeah. Can I interject? And I also believe that these are moments where communication is key. You know, like, he upset you or she upset you and you want to be silent. You don't want to talk to them. You kind of want to say, shut up. But it's actually an amazing moment to talk it out and to say, listen, you did this. I do not like these things.
Yeah. Or
I did this and I messed up type of stuff, you know?
Yeah. So, yeah, that is definitely a big thing. Hella immature. Don't do that, people. like I said, it took me a while to realize and learn, like, this is not okay. And I used to think it was just so not a big deal. It was just like, well, I'm just upset. Like, I have a right to just not want to talk. Like, leave me alone. Like, what's the big deal? And then, like I said, later on, it was kind of just like, okay, this just does not make any sense whatsoever. Like, how do you expect the relationship to grow if you're not actually talking? If you're, you're spending more of your time being upset and you just, go away, and that don't make no sense. So yeah, that was number 5 on your list.
On our list. So number 6 is it's not what you say, but how you say it. For any of you who know me, or if you don't know me, you're about to know me, I am one person. I used to be a person where you would say something and I'm going to hit you where it hurts. I know what to say to get reaction or to hurt you. And I have come a very long way, especially with my husband. And using your words and using your words wisely, you can get your same point across just in another way, in a gentler way, in a kinder way. And what I've come to understand is that people are more receptive to you kind of saying, honey, listen, when you do this, I don't like it because, rather than saying, let me tell you this, when you do da and you go over there and you do this. Matter of fact, when you are so loud, you can't hear a person. Because me personally, I start tuning you out right away. I'm like, yeah, you want to go on and yell? Go on and yell. I'm in another world, another zone. I am checking my what to do list. What else I got to do. I'm not hearing nothing.
I can't because I know you, and I just know that's you.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
You're like, all right, whatever. What's next?
I have checked out. And so now when I would do that to him, he would do that. So then I say, you know what? Let us use our words wisely. You know what? Rather than getting angry, I say, honey, listen, I've expressed myself in several different ways in this incident, and you continue to do this, you're going to really get me upset. I don't want to explode and go crazy on you. So please check yourself, do these things. And again, it comes back down to communication. Communication is key. It's not what you say, but how you say it. And now you take that same principle and you can apply it in your workplace. You can get your points across without necessarily getting fired. You understand me? And you can let them know. Or Janelle says you politely tell them to
fuck up.
Yes.
I've gotten so good at that. Like, corporate America,
it's an art.
It helps you hone that skill. Saying things in a different way that people are going to be receptive to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. So that was my number 6. So number 7 is keeping your hands to yourself. That is the biggest thing. Now, I understand, and there is so much about men hitting women and abusive relationships, and usually it's on a male hitting the female, and completely disgusted by that. But then there's also the part that people don't really discuss a lot, which is women hitting the men. I myself was one of those women. And I applaud my husband because through the years, we've been married 13 years this year. We've been together over 18 years. And in the very beginning of our relationship and marriage, that was me. I didn't know how to express myself. So he would do something and I would get so angry that I would hit him. Or he wouldn't leave me alone, because my husband's the type of person that he wants to get it resolved right then and there. Where myself, I need some space. Give me some space. Let me cool down and we'll come back. And in the heat of the moment, he'll continue to push and want me to respond. So you won't get these hands. And that's what happened.
It's like it actually sounds funny when you know the two of them, because Chanel's like 5'2" or like 5'3" or something. How tall are you? 5'3"?
Yeah.
And Cien is 6'4"?
6'3".
6'3".
Yeah.
So like now imagine this as a couple and she trying to throw hands at this 6'4" man.
Ain't nobody gonna come at me.
So it sounds funny,
yes.
but it's a great point,
yes.
Because it doesn't matter how small you are or how big you are or what gender you are, you should not be putting your hands on
exactly.
anybody.
I have grown so much from that, and he is a human being just as much as I'm a human being. And I do not want to condone that type of activity. I don't want my children to see those type of things. And it's not okay. Keep your hands to yourself. Use your words. That's what your words are there for. So women, do not hit your men, and because you do not want him to hit you back.
Yeah.
And he could have easily hit me and hurt me, and I was the one doing that to him, and it hurts me to know that I did that to him.
Yeah. And it's super important because, you know, a lot of people don't speak about women hitting men. It's a really important topic because, you know, women get away with a lot of stuff, but guess what? My whole thing is, you put your hands on somebody, you better expect to get hands put back on you. Like, it don't matter who you hit, and it don't matter who you're, you know, reacting to. Like, you need to control yourself. Your hands need to stay on your body. And I mean,
stay to your side.
I've always felt that way. It don't matter. It does not matter what the situation is. It does not matter who he is. It does not matter what he's done to you. I mean, unless it's physical, because, bruh, I'm the first one to tell you, you hit me, you put your hands on me, I'm going to wait till you sleeping and kill your ass.
Yeah, and I had the audacity to tell him the same thing and I was so serious about it. So I would tell him, don't hit me or else I'm going to kill you, but then I'll turn around and hit him. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you, you know?
Yeah, it's super important. It's a big topic, and ladies, you need to realize, like, you need to not be putting your hands on men the same way that you expect them to not put their hands on you. That was a good one. That's a big, you know, growth point for Chanel.
Yeah, and that's why I had to say it, and that's why I got so emotional, because, and it's actually like a weight lifted off my shoulder, you know, and I want you ladies.
That's definitely something that you have changed. Yeah. It's definitely something that you've done and you actually learned from and you have changed. So, yeah. Definitely a big one. And finally, number 8 on our things we've learned in relationships list, for me, is treating your man special. So I think this was something that I personally never really heard a lot of. Growing up, it was kind of something that was just not spoken about. It was just, you know, I grew up in a household where, I mean, it was very controlling. And so it wasn't really about doing, you know, special things for him because everything was done for him already. You know? Everything, however he wanted it, it had to be done, period. So there was no real talk about, you know, doing things for your man. But in society as well, I think this is a good topic to learn from, because people don't really talk to women about treating their men special. They more talk to men about treating women special, women like princesses and queens, and, you know, making them feel good and doing romantic things. But I just don't think that it's talked about often enough when it comes to women. Women need to be doing special things for their men too. And this was another big thing that I went a long time in a relationship not realizing until like the end of the relationship, where I finally started going like, hey, why am I not doing things like this for my person, you know? Mm-hmm. And I started to, when I, you know, realized it and picked up on it, and I was just like, this is not okay. Like, I want to, you know, do nice things. And don't get me wrong, I would, you know, I'm huge on surprises, and I'm huge on presents. Even just little tokens of things, like, that's, to me, one of the big ways that I show my love. Like, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to buy him this.
One of your 5 love languages?
I think so. Well, I said that's how I love. I don't know about people loving me in that way, but I love, you know, making people feel special. So it's kind of hilarious to me that this is not something that I picked up on, you know. I like, you know, giving little tokens and being like, oh, he likes to eat that, I'm gonna get that for him, and, you know, oh, this made me think of him, I'm gonna pick that up for him. Or surprising people. I love surprising people, but that's general. It's a general statement. It's not just relationships. Like, I love surprising people because to me it just kind of makes people feel special.
We all love to feel special.
Right. And it took me a long time to figure out, like, hey, I should be, you know, doing special things to make this person feel special, not just the normal things that I would do for anybody. like, you know, buying something nice for them or buying something that they like to eat. That's normal. I do that for everybody, not just in relationships. I do that for yeah. And I surprise like people in my life, period, in general, not just relationships. So it did take me a while to kind of pick up on that and be like, damn, I should be doing extra special things for my man. I should be making him feel more special because he's my man. So yeah, that's definitely a big thing that I've learned in my relationships. And now I'm kind of just like, bruh, he gonna get the world.
Yes.
And like I said, I think it's a thing that other people, other women should learn from as well, because it's not widely spoken about.
No.
Yeah, y'all should be making your men feel special the same way that you want to feel special.
You're a queen and he's your king, girl. How are you gonna spoil your king?
Facts.
With your earthly king.
So that was our list of top 8 things that we've learned in relationships throughout our lives.
And I hope that you hear and you will make amends or a change in your life.
Yeah. Look at yourself. Introspection is very important. And like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you think, especially on this topic.
Yeah.
I want to know what other people have learned and see if I can learn from that.
Yeah. Please, like, comment down below, like, right now. I mean, that was only 8, and there are so many more things.
There really are.
So many other topics. Like, go ahead, guys. Make a list down below. We want to hear.
Yeah. Hit the bell, too. Hit the bell so you can see our beautiful faces. And we will be back next week, either Wednesday or Thursday, with a new video. And
guess what?
What?
That's my best friend Janelle. What? That's my best friend Janelle.
And that's my best friend Chanel. Bye, guys.
Bye.